think we are live. Let me just confirm this on my cell phone. Just want to confirm that all is well. This is a good session, guys. I look forward to share this with all of you. And here we are. Okay, perfect. And we are live. Okay. Now, this is day 86. Do you realize that we have just a few days left? I have actually one question here for you. What is the one thing? What is the one thing that you think about that you took from the 90-day run? Right. So if you don't mind, post it in the chat, post it in a comment. I say the chat because I'm so used to Zoom. We're doing a live here on Facebook. So just post a comment and just kind of let me know what is that one thing that you took from this 90-day run, right? What is the one thing that you added into your toolbox? I know I'm doing more lives. I'm not doing as much reels, but in fact, I do some reels. I do actually quite a few of them, but I also hire someone to help me support me with all of these things. But at the end of the day, folks, what's really interesting here is you don't need to know everything that you've learned. What you need is to find something that you can relate to and start applying it. And once you get really good about it, then you just move on to something else. And here's the good thing. You can always come back to this group because these videos are here forever. As long as Facebook is here, you will always have access to them on the feature segment, right? Prior to that, we had a 90-day run in building your business. So my point here is you can go back and listen to all of these, okay? So let's talk about bringing all of this together. I think this is important, right? And the thing that you need to understand here is, I think one of the biggest issue, I wouldn't say issue, myth or I guess attitude or approach. Let's use this. The common approach that I see in this business, right, is as soon as you make the sale, they figure, oh, it's over now, right? It's done. I've done my part. They're in the system. No, let me find the next person. But it's not over, not even close, because now you're opening their journey to transformation, to their transformation. And that's what's really important to understand here. See, most people haven't made the kind of money that some of us are making in this business because all they think about is make the sale. All they think about is form of a transaction, right? They all think it's a transaction game. And it's not about the transaction game. It is part of the process, but it's really a transformation game. It's really interesting, but your income will reflect based on the personal growth, right? It's a self-improvement system with a compensation plan attached to it. And you'll find that if you evolve as a person, Tammy and I did a video recently on that. You can find this on our personal Facebook page. On focus on always don't lose an opportunity to evolve in personal growth. By the way, thanks for the hearts and the thumbs ups. We really love those. We really appreciate that. So think about that way, right? So you are in the business to learn something new so you can grow. And then the next step is then you help someone also new to get their fulfillment. That's the business that we're in. And, some people think that we're lucky, we came in first, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, no, it's not because of that. It's because we focus on you. We focus on the new associate and making sure that they get all the steps that they need to evolve into to be able to succeed in this business. And I think it's one of the reasons why folks don't necessarily make a big organization or they make a lot of money, because they always focus on the sell and not on the personal growth in themselves and their organization. So I just wanted to kind of underline that as we start. So what I'd like to do right now is kind of draw a line with steps. Because I can't do this right now because it's virtual, let me share my screen. And I want to share something that I think that's the one right here. Yeah. Okay. Here's the line that Frazier shared on that day when he talked about those segments. Okay, and the very first one, okay, enjoying the line is understand that it's a process. Okay, and today's training is the process for social media, and now we want to bring all this together. And quoted by Frazier, and I really like what he shared, is learn something new and help someone new. Learn something new and help someone new. I really appreciate that because this is what we are all about. This is one of the reasons why the gamers and the people coming in with new deals often they never really take off. Is because they're only in for the sell, for the quick sell, and then walk out. Right. So what's important here is let's talk about this process. So when you look at the very first line over here, okay, we're talking about leads. Okay. So the very first thing is you need to be in an environment to get new people, right? And then these leads, you have to put them through two different steps. One is action, right? And the other one is the attraction. So these are the really two aspect of generating or getting leads, right? See, attraction marketing is very, very important. That's where Tammy and I are spending an enormous amount of time learning how to become attractive online. We've done well meeting people, traveling in your countries, and meeting you face to face. And trust me, this is not gone, but there's a hybrid version of that. So, number one, the action in getting leads is you need to find someone that you can engage with, right? And from that point on, then you once they're engaging with you, if you remember a lot of the sessions we talked about is how to engage, how to connect with people, to go into groups and find the influencer in that group, and then from there, once they engage with you, then you message them personally into their Facebook Messenger or whatever it is that you're using. It could be a TikTok, it could be Instagram, or whatever. It could be WhatsApp. You know what I'm talking about, right? So you make the connection, the engage, and then you connect with them. Okay. But the other portion of getting leads is the attraction aspect of things. Okay. So what happens here is the attraction is Facebook Live, Facebook Reel, Instagram Live, Instagram Reel, TikTok videos, YouTube Short. You know what I'm talking about. These are all sessions that we talked about. And feel free to go back to some of those sessions and pick up on those. And what you will find, what's going to happen is at the beginning, you're going to be doing these things, right? If you look at the line over here, this would basically be the action, right? The actions are at the beginning. There's a lot of actions that are taking place, and then the attraction is kind of nothing's happening, but then it's starting to grow, and then your activities are going down a little bit because now you're focusing on following up on the people that are attracted to you, and that's what this line is all about. This is what the circle. When the cross occurs, this is the point of no return. This is the point when momentum could rise significantly if you stay the course. You know, you hear Tammy and I often say, stay the course, keep moving forward. Don't get distracted by the shiny toy that are just presenting today, because there's going to be one every day. It's just the way things are, right? It's the nature of our business. The fact is you need to move forward and stay focused. So that's really, really, really important. So one is the lead. That's where it all starts. We talked a lot about that in our sessions. The second portion is now building the relationship. And I think this is where a lot of people do not take the time to do. See, the person you initiate the conversation with, right? What's important here is you need to keep in mind that it's not going to happen right away. You don't want to sell your deal right away. You don't want to, give him your link to look at your products right away. It's possible, depending on the relationship with this person, that maybe the timing is right. What I'm saying is you have to have like a bit of an emotional intelligence, right, when you're dealing with prospects like this. It's really interesting. Frazer was sharing that 1 out of 2 Americans feels alone. Isn't that strange? Despite the fact that social media is massive, people have so many connections, but the majority of those connections, there's no relationship. So important to keep that in mind. See, the person who starts the conversation wins. And what do I mean by that? Frazer was actually sharing an example, and I can relate to that also, where you have your circle of personal friends, right? He talked about the fact that he had his new child. I think he's 3 months old now, and none of his close friends kind of called him up to congratulate him, and he kind of felt offended by that. But then he realized that was not their fault; it was his fault because he never took the step forward to actually initiate the connection. So to go back to my statement, the person who starts the conversation wins. So all the people, all your close friends, stay in contact with your friends, even if they're not interested in your business, or maybe they are in your business and maybe they're consuming the products. Maintain that relationship. And maybe some of you are doing that, but many of you are not taking. I'm guilty of that too. I'm so tied up into a business and developing and growing. And, Tammy and I are building funnels right now, recruiting funnels and all of these things, affiliate funnels. We're doing a lot to automate our business. So when we travel, the computer keeps working on the behind us. And when someone's interested, it pops in our email or into our calendar pop up. And then from there, whoops, someone's interested, right? So, but that's beside the point. The fact here is that we need to take the time to solidify and maintain those relationships. It's really, really important. Think of all the contacts that you have outside of your Max business that you haven't initiated a conversation with. So take the time. Yesterday, Dr. James talks about birthdays, right? And recognizing the birthdays, and especially when it's your birthday, and how to go about this. But when it's also someone else's birthday, to create a little video where you lip sync a song. They don't hear your voice, right? But you're actually lip syncing a song, and at that point you record it, little few seconds of it, and then you send it as a happy birthday, right? Which is very memorable. People will not forget you, right? That's just an example on following up and building that relationship. So again, I'm spending a bit of time on that because the relationship is the foundation and the nature of our business. Very, very important. Okay, number three. What's important is ask the qualifying questions, right? So it's important that at one point you need to qualify your prospect. And I think this is when most of the people overlook. And you have all these folks that are there, and it's just kind of rumbling around, and there's no sales, there's no conversion, right? So the fact here is simply ask qualifying questions. So number three here is you ask the questions, and then what you want to do is you want to qualify. Qualifying, for example, the why, the where, the goal before an open. I'll give you an example. Why are you looking at this information? What piqued your interest and wanted to get more information? What would you like to know? Listen, John, Mary, where do you want to be 5 years from now? Because let's face it, the world is changing. We know that. Where do you want to be? Are you lining yourself up to be able to keep up with the way the economy is going today? Right? What have you done before? They might have been in network marketing before. Maybe they're a little bit resistant towards it. They may feel a bit of a stigma towards it. What were you in before? What did you try before? Or if you're talking about a product and you say, well, I don't believe in these supplements, blah, 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 blah. Again, a question, but what did you try before? Because we understand that what we have to offer is quite unique. And there will be a lot of copycats that will come in because they've been seeing Max growing for the past 16 years. They want a piece of that. So they're foaming in the mouth, and then they're looking, and they're desperate, and they're trying to come in, right? So often what's happening here is people might have tried different deals, different products. It didn't work out for them. But the question is, have you heard of what we have? What did you try before? And find out what has happened. And if you pay attention, remember, 2 ears, 1 mouth, pay attention without cutting them off. And kind of cutting them off, let them complete, let them finish, let them share their sentences, and then understand what they're telling you. And at one point is, once you understood and you're in a position to share, are you open to receive some information? Because I have seen countless thousands of people benefiting from this from all over the world. I'd love to share with you, a quick little video for you to look at to see if it's something that you might be interested to dig into. So you want to qualify and build a relationship. You qualify and be empathetic, right? It's important you understand where they come from, right? So the question is, are you open to receive information? Let me introduce you to a wonderful friend. He happens to be living in Canada. Actually, he's in the US right now. He's been in Max. He happens to be a Crown Diamond with his company. And I'd love for him, through his eyes, sharing what he's witnessed, because he's seen things going on all over the world. I'm just giving you a quick example here, right? How people have introduced me before. So use a third party, qualify, and leverage. This is really important. In fact, Tammy and I and many of the leaders, I've created an environment we call the success cycle, which we have the approach and we have the follow-up, right? And we have the different strategies on how to maximize your results as you are qualifying your prospects. Okay, so this is very, very important. From that point on, it's pretty straightforward, is to follow up. Okay, well, before you follow up, let me just introduce, first of all, number 5 is, it would be kind of share the tools. So that's this one right over here. I kind of skipped that one. This is really, really, really important, right? Don't be a fool. Use the tools. I love this line. Don't be a fool. Use the tools, because the tools are going to do the selling for you instead of you having to sell the whole thing. And sometimes they may feel that you're a little bit biased. Why? Because you're in the company. But if you use a third-party credibility, or you use a tool in conjunction to a third-party credibility, it's really, really powerful. We'll come back to that in the follow-up process. But use the tool, the presentation recordings, or the live presentations. In fact, today, in about 90 minutes, we're doing a presentation online. Are you inviting people to these Zoom presentations, to these videos? Really important. Now, number 6, we're into the follow-up process. Okay, so when you're looking at the follow-up process, which is really important here, is to, hold on, I went a little too fast here. Yeah, so one thing that you could use is group chats. We talked about group chats, right? For example, all of you here are in a group chat. It's a public group chat. It's open for everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from, to learn from our experience. And from there, this is a bit of a large group, right? You may want to create a more private group where you can have past information that was put in there, with maybe some uplines and some sidelines, or even some downlines. We call them the USD, right? Upline, sideline, downline, you get it? So from there, and then what you can do is you invite your prospect into this group, right? And then you can introduce your USD, which is either your upline, your sideline, your downline, to the chat. And this could be in real time within the chat connected to this group, where your prospects could actually listen to past videos or current videos, right? Your USD, which is your upline, sideline, downline, could share an experience video that maybe was there before that you can re-reference, because now they're part of this group. You may want to keep this group private to make sure that it's not being poached. But at the end of the day, this is a great environment to follow up. I love I call it roundtable discussions. Let me rephrase that. Zoom roundtable discussions. This is really powerful. Very often, people sign up because not necessarily the information they got that they wanted, is the collaboration and the synergy that went on in that discussion in a group. Super powerful, really powerful. This is a great way to follow up. Invite them into our Zoom roundtable discussion to chat about people's experience in reference to the product. And if it's a group that has past recording and past reference, they can utilize all of that, which you can also send it to them to a WhatsApp group, to a Telegram group. You know what I'm talking about. But what's really important, and FYI, as you're sharing your video, is energy, good energy. That's really, really important. High energy, great stories, right? And again, that's the nice thing about video is you can kind of cut out the things you don't want and edit it in a way. I do that all the time. If you watch our Instagram reels or our Instagram, the Chris and Tammy Instagram, you'll see, right? You can watch your videos and there's a lot of cut, but it's perfect because we put in there exactly the message that we want, and we scratch the rest in that particular context and what we're trying to deliver as a message in that particular experience that we want people to have with this reel or this video, right? So all of these could be into groups. And the next thing that's important is you need to track, right? Track their goals, right? If they're not ready now, then ask them, what's your alternative, right? If they're there because at first you guys are speaking because there's an interest, they need more money, they're not doing well with their health, they're looking for options, but they're not ready to commit because maybe the price comes as a challenge at the moment. But then you bring them back to the original reason why they're here, to find out what their goals are. So in other words, but what do you plan to do to deal with the situation, whatever that situation may be, that we just talked about? And let them answer. And maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now, hey, John, how are you? I just wanted to follow up and see if you kind of been able to solve this issue, or have you been able to find some kind of a compromise to deal with whatever it is you're facing, to be able to make some more money, to be able to be in a position to deal with your high blood pressure, to deal whatever the situation. And remember, I'm not claiming anything here. I'm just using that as an example to try to connect them to the reason why you guys spoke before and what they're looking to improve. So very important is you want to track, you want to follow up. And this is really important over here. Okay? And very important is encourage them. Encourage them. Don't get kind of discouraged or a little bit taken back because they're not interested right now. Says, John, Mary, listen, I wish you all the best. I really, really hope that you get what you're looking for. Just remember, I'm here. Whenever you're ready, I'm here for you. So this is what I mean by the tracking aspect. And number 8, this is critical. You remember what I said? Once the person is in the system, it's not the end, right? You're not done. Now, you completed the first step in getting them into your business. But if you want to build an empire, you need to launch that new person. Really, really important. Launch that new person. And for example, if you go to activeteamtraining.com, there are videos that every one of us have been doing these 90-day runs have participated in, right? You can actually go to the Crown Diamond Global Impact. There's lots of videos there, right? But we did a video on getting started, a new associate orientation, right? If someone, for example, comes in, let me give you an example where it's kind of part of the dare and I'll come back to that in a minute here. But when someone comes in, I know I can't be everywhere for everybody because it's a big team. But what if I have a website, and when people put their name and email on that website, then they receive a welcome letter. It's my autoresponder. Maybe some of you, if you receive some of that autoresponder, feel free to put a little comment or a chat or a message there. You go to activeteamgroup.com, you just put your email and your name, and you'll notice you get a welcome letter. And the welcome letter has some procedures. And one of those procedures is to install the board. Why? Because the board has everything you need to do exactly all of these 8 steps I just talked about. It's all there. Now, obviously, as we evolve, we improve all the time. But automatically, they get the welcome letter. They get the process on how to install the board. They even get little information on the board on, okay, I speak Spanish. I don't speak English, but these videos are in English. Do you know that you can actually just click the little setting button and change the language to Spanish? In fact, let me rephrase that. You don't have to even change the language. If you happen to have a Spanish phone and you just say activate subtitle, if your phone is Spanish, by default, the information will be in Spanish. But if you want in German, you can select in German. You know what I mean? There's a little video that explains how to do these things. So we completely automated our business. So our business is running on its own, but we're always there to support. But there's always a system behind. So here's the assignment on day 86. Okay. Review the process and determine which area you are doing well. Okay. Of all these different areas that we talked about. Okay. Let me just go back to this here. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So Review this process and determine which area you are doing well and which area you need to improve. Spend the time in doing this because I'm just giving you the recipe to become a crown diamond in this business. Then commit to improve on those areas. If you know that you're lacking leads, work on that. If you're lacking the follow up, work on that. If you're lacking the habit of building that relationship and taking the time in building the relationship, work on that. You understand my meaning? That's the dare for today. Those of you that choose to be part of this dare could completely change the faith of your business. So this comes to an end. I hope the information was helpful. I went a little longer today because I wanted to wrap this information for you to get a full assessment for beginning to end. And guys, if you like what we share, let us know, right? Ann Turnbull, Webmaster, Dr. James, Tammy, and I have worked really, really hard. This is the last time we're sharing on this particular segment of the 90-day run. Tomorrow, I believe it will be, I'm losing track, right? It will be Tammy, and then it will be Anne, and then after that, and I think it will be Webmaster, I'm sorry, and then it will be Anne, and that ends, which will be Monday and Tuesday. Okay? So have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being part of this 90-day run. Let us know what you think, how you feel. Give us some hearts, give us some thumbs ups, and we want you to know that we appreciate you a lot. Okay, until the next time we start posting again, I hope that you take advantage of what we did in the past here. Okay, have yourself a good one, and bye for now.